So looks like just about everyone here is almost near ready. And
and don't take that the wrong way, thank you.
alrighty, so Desert Showdown semi-final match here between Vindicator X and Dodaka ZX against Stringoy and Asminator. That would be the Great Crusaders on the left, all Chaos. The Chaos Lord for Vindicator X and the Chaos Sorcerer for Dodaka ZX going up against Stringoy, who I believe is sporting a Chaos Lord, and Asminator, who I believe is sporting Warlock. And those
Chaos Lord and Warlock.
Those two guys would be Gangsters and Gentlemen.
Gentlemen Gangsters.
And the Gangsters of Gentlemen. So, Dodaka ZX spawning in the left corner as his Sorcerer here, and actually making a little mistake there. So, well, maybe not necessarily a mistake. A lot of players will send everything to one area just to get it moving, and then they'll start moving. But, oh, wait, what is this? Asminator is not loaded in yet or something, I'm not sure, but he's losing some significant capping time, and Fleet of Foot will buy him a little bit of that back. But as we can see, most of the other players in the game here are already capping. Asminator, they're capping late. I'm not sure if he was alt-tabbed at some point or what, and in fact he even wants to go out and harass here, it looks like, and he may not even get the chance to do that.
Well, you can attempt to try and harass the Chaos Lord, it won't work. But you can, of course, be really annoying and start capping his points. And get knocked over.
So he's asking for start over because this game froze at the beginning, and that's a little weird here. I'm gonna just kind of look over to Skype, and I'm sure that IKF is checking the stream right now, and hopefully he'll get a response to me at his earliest convenience, wink wink, and or I can message him in a minute here. But so,
well,
really,
the question is it game ruining?
It is a big disadvantage, but
inconvenience at the very least.
It is a big disadvantage, but unfortunately, it's one of those things where I'm not sure who, where the responsibility with that lies. Unfortunately, because it is one of those things where his game froze and no one else's game froze. We saw we all loaded in just fine. It actually seemed like one of those things where, I'm not sure. I don't want to, do too much here. Either way, we see Vindicator X is getting away from these Banshees real quick. Here comes some Heretics. They're going to charge into the Banshees, who are running away, but not quite getting there yet. They're trying to upgrade Aspect, but they're not going to get it in time, and now they're going to have to run back through the Heretics, losing a few models in the process. Down to 2 models, actually. That's 120 requisition worth of Banshee losses from a little bit of over-aggressiveness, and I'm not sure that Asman's head is in the game right now is a big problem with all this. But we do see a Heretic squad now go down for Strigoi. And,
yes, and the appropriate response from his side. Well, perhaps not so appropriate, but kind of like, whoops! I didn't do that! Was not me, was my mouse! It messed up again!
And meanwhile, Chaos Space Marines retreating out here as they get hit with a big Doom Bolt. And Sorcerer goes down, getting a little too aggressive there. Just a few shots from back at base, actually managing to take him out, as the melee from Chaos Space Marines did a lot. And IKF here saying no for the restart, so...
well...
So just getting the official on that from IKF here. And both players end up conceding instead.
Yeah, that was a short one.
It's unfortunate, but
go back next time.
Yeah, it is really tough to pull yourself out of that kind of a hole when you get into it. But he really he didn't lose. He lost a little bit of capping time there, but he could have pulled out of it if his first, if he kind of turned around and said, oh, okay, this happens, frustrating, but got to get back to playing, and to just go and play and focus on that.
Well, I don't think he was focused. I think he was kind of annoyed that his game froze and this affected his playing. Or something like that. Like, perhaps he felt like giving up already. Yeah. That kind of sucks.
So trying to figure out the extent of this right now, and what ICAP was saying is it looked like he was all tapped, which is what it looked like to us as well, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we can. From what I'm getting here, I don't think that if you're gonna alt tab, unfortunately, you take your life into your own hands. GR2O luckily is.
If you alt tabs or does anything like that, your game kind of freezes.
Yeah, well, if you alt tab near load, it's always a risk, you know, unfortunately, and you know, honestly, GR2O is a very good alt tabbing game most of the time, but I think with any game, you know, when you alt tab, you don't have things set up in advance. So it looks like Gangsters and Gentlemen will have to go ahead and fight their way down from 0-1 deficit if they want to go ahead and take this.
Well, they will have to come back like a storm or something. A hurricane.
Well, actually, most of these rounds we've seen so far, I should say, actually ended up 2-0. So with the
yeah, they kind of have to fight hard now if they want to stay in the fight.
Yeah, but I meant also, like, as far as the 2-0 goes, you know, dropping a game that, you know, from their standpoint, wasn't really played. You know, for them to go 2-0 after that, maybe no big issue. So, Ruins of Argus is the suggestion. Let's see if that is approved.
Only both of them agree to it.
So, looks like everyone's ready and we're set to go, and
I'm going into the... Please dig a big trench in the middle of the city map, as I like to call it.
yeah, there is
you kind of need to get some suppression teams there or something. You know, to hold the center, bottom of wherever you decide to set up shop.
Oh, I've won this map many a time without suppression teams. But then again, though, I should never talk about what I do versus what other normal people do. It always leads to things that are wrong. So, Dodaka's in X in the top left corner here, and Vindicare X in the bottom left. Seems like we're seeing the same heroes, so Warlock for Asminator, I should say, in the top right. It seems to have no problem this time. Probably did not alt tab. And bottom right, we've got Strigoi. So, Asminator going ahead grabbing 2 Guardians to start it with, and his Warlock. This seems to be a pretty standard build order for him thus far.
He's probably not going to get Banshees, I think.
That's true. He got Banshees last time, and I'm not sure if that was just because of being behind or what, but that is true. That was a little different.
Well, it could be due to the lack of structures for enemies to hide in. If you think that way, your Banshees really have to get in close, and if they're in a building, you can't get nowhere. Oh, but it's getting them, so...
Well, I mean, actually,
the problem.
Desert Showdown has at least as many buildings as the top part of Argus does. And has that really prominent building in the middle.
Yeah, I can only remember
Huge Destructor incoming from Asmon, though, on those Heretics. A big Destructor followed up by a really, really nice special attack there from his Warlock. And he's starting off quite nice here. Heretics, though, coming in, going to force him off without issue, but he's going to get a couple kills in here. And actually, Heretics going to retreat there.
Just before he retreated, it looked like the Warlock was preparing to do a special attack.
Oh, that could have been quite deadly if he was. And Tanaka's next could have been in quite a lot of trouble there. But as it stands, we see that Asmon has fallen back a little bit, but he's pushing back out again here with Banshees. Very, very nice. Doombolt, though, is going to bring those Banshees down quite a lot in health, take out 1 Guardian model, and produce some problems.
Well, they lost one of the power farms early, though. It's uncapped.
Yeah, he has not been able to capture that power farm yet. Looks like his Warlock might be looking to do that now.
Decapped, you see, by a Heretic squad.
Ah, yes.
I don't know why the Warlock used Destructor on the Chaos Space Marines. It doesn't do a lot.
I think it actually, as I recall, is a plasma attack, and it does a decent amount if you land it, but you know, they still have enough health that it doesn't, it's not as drastic as other stuff, but you know, if you're gonna have energy, right, and just sitting around, you want to make efficient use of your energy, so with no Heretics in the engagement...
Use it then to just wait and see if you get a better chance later.
Right, but I mean, by the time you get the chance later, you're going to have the energy and the cooldown already restored to you, so...
Yeah, exactly. That's why you shouldn't sit there and wait. Like, I might need it later. Yes, but you need it now.
So meanwhile, we're seeing that Strigoi moving it with his upgraded Heretics here, Aspiring Champion. The newly 30 power price Aspiring Champion, I should say. And moving quite a big force down to the bottom here with the Aspiring Champion Heretics, the Chaos Lord, and the Chaos Space Marines, the 2x Chaos Space Marines, I should say. But we see that Vindicare is plopping his own Chaos Space Marines in the building here, and actually Daka's Inex has got Havoc, and he's getting another Havoc. And interesting, he's not even in the bottom, but he can control the top with Havocs. And the thing about the top, though, is there actually aren't too many points up there in the top to control with, so...
Now, there's, well, one extra power point there, which might be useful if you can make it into a form, but then you kind of have to protect it or keep the enemy busy.
Meanwhile, we've got Immolate going down on that garrison, but actually Immolate's doing probably more damage to his own Heretics for Strigoi there than it is to anything else, because they're running around the edges there, and the Immolate is still hitting the edges, and that was proving a little problematic for him. And meanwhile, we get Heretics from Vindicare X powering some speed Chaos Space Marines going up against these Guardians over in the top, chasing them out of here. And meanwhile, big push coming in from Tadaka's X on the generator farm of Asminator.
Yeah, he's kind of going a really heavy tier 1.
Yeah, and it looks like it should pay off here, actually, because he's got the Havoc coming in. That's going to be able to really cement his control of this. He's got 2 Havocs, actually. And this is looking brutal here for Asminator. I don't think he's going to be able to hold the spawn.
That farm is probably gone.
That is going to be almost impossible for him to hold. And you see the Vindicare X has just kind of been hopping around the map and supporting this push in all the various ways that he can. While going on a much lighter tier 1 so that he can pop over to tier 2 pretty quickly here. He's going to be the first one to tier 2.
Circles and stuff, which might appear. It's kind of a form of teamwork. One goes heavy and the other goes light.
Exactly.
And sure, you have everything you need
We are seeing though Vindicarex a little delayed on his timing here. He's at 138 power and 720 requisition, and finally hits the tier 2
Hey
button.
guys,